What new ideas? It's all yours to give life to. How does your awareness change when you give birth to something new? I mean, really new in your life. I'm talking really big, like having that child. What's the idea you've carried for 9 months, 10 months, 10 years? That one day I'm going to kind of idea. Today it's born. How big of a change is it in your life? That new belief, new journey, new joy. What will you deliver today? Gentleman came out here yesterday who was going to build something for us, and he said, I can't start this week. Thursday at 3 o'clock, my wife is having our child. So because of the way ours was an appointment, I made the assumption it was a C-section. I said, yep, our third one. So the recovery takes a little bit on a C-section. So how are you setting up your support for your new idea? Your new vision, your new mission? What's your support after the idea is birthed? Remember that saying, what you tolerate is how you teach others to treat you. What will this new idea create? How does it enhance the world? You are a world leader, a thought leader. Today, bring your dreams to life. Enjoy your morning. And thank you. Good morning in Japan. Thank you all for being here this morning. What'd you hear? What'd you learn? What'd you like? Good morning, everybody.
Happy birthday, Sean.
Well, thank you, Christina.
What are you doing to that hat? You're torturing.
Just trying to straighten it up a little bit. Get the country curl in it.
Mm-hmm. So you asked what idea is being birthed today. And I know that we had this conversation before, is the question was, what do I want? And so on this trip, I started writing down what I really want. And that was triggered just by those 100 yen things like your wish will come true, right? But for me, I didn't really know what my wish is, but that kind of triggered to write it down. And so now I'm gonna, because I was just starting to listen more and more to Joe Dispenza and how to think it in existence. And so I'm focusing on that.
So how are you allowing your new awareness to flow?
Can you phrase it a different way,
Sure.
please?
And I'm glad you asked for that. So imagine your brain has it has been trained to do uh has been trained do you know what the high bars are in Olympics?
Yes.
Okay. So you have been a high bar trained athlete for decades, and you're wanting to take on a new um what do they call it in sports? A new discipline. And you want to go do the balance beam.
Mm-hmm.
You are an athletic piece of work. You are strong, you are physically capable, you have a capacity, you already operate at an Olympic level. How fast do you think you'll be able to learn the balance beam? Do you think you'll pick it up like right away, or are you going to have some stumbles and falls and some have to learn to move your body in a new way?
Stumbles and falls.
So this awareness of what you want is the equivalent of your
Mm-hmm.
balance beam,
Mm-hmm.
because you have been triggered and told and wired to do for others and to do with sacrifice, and a competing athlete at a world-class level in the high bar of I got to take care of them, up and down and spinning and flipping and doing all of that. And now the balance beam, you're not holding on to something. You're all by yourself when you ask the universe, what do I want? And it shows up in your world, and it's called the balance beam. I don't want the balance beam. I've never done that before. I don't know how to do a toe spin on the balance beam. I can do it on the ground. So what I'm saying is the flow with which all of the things that you're asking for are right as close as your skin. It's going, there's a need to allow the new discipline to see the new
Mm-hmm.
things in a new way, which in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, it seems difficult because you're not fluid on the balance beam. But because of all of your years of training, of serving, of being good at doing good things, now the balance beam is a whole new version of you, which nobody sees as different. But as the athlete, if you've ever done multiple disciplines in sports, I was great at basketball, not so good at volleyball. I was good and great at basketball, not so good at golf. I'm athletic. I could run, but I wasn't a runner. I had all of the traits of all of the skills, all of the capabilities to do all of these other disciplines very well, but I didn't have the little parts of it. I didn't have the nuances of volleyball. I didn't understand the way the teamwork worked there. Until you play it enough, all of a sudden it becomes instinctive. I say that to say again, all of what you're doing and allowing, and here's the neat thing, it'll come to you much faster in Tokyo or Quito or Kato, wherever you're at, because the environment's different. There's not one thing that your environment is going, oh, you can't have new because this is the old place. This is why every author who's done world-class work goes to a location that's not their normal environment because their normal environment limits their capability and capacity. You in Japan right now, you have the absolute, you can 10x your manifestation capabilities and skills effortlessly because your mind, when you walk down a street or you see all of the different architecture that's different and all the language, you don't have to worry about the reading billboard signs that aren't in English because you don't understand them. Your mind's not we don't need to pay attention to that.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like that. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'd be asking bigger. Say, listen,
Mm,
I don't know any of the surroundings, so I can focus on me. I can focus on what it is I want. I can hear the sounds and I can smell are the smells different?
yes.
Yeah. And the sun doesn't look different, but it seems different, and the shadows are different because you've never seen any of this stuff. So you are in one of the most beautiful places for the mind to manifest new because this is what Joe Dispenza says, your personal reality makes up your personality.
Mhm.
Well, there's nothing there that says, oh, Christina's here, we control her. They're like, oh, Christina's here, what would she like? And now your personality can make up your personal reality. And you have absolutely the best. You are in, again, all great authors. You'll hear them when you read their bios. Harry Potter was written in a hotel room, a very fancy, swanky hotel room. The first one wasn't. It was written on the substations, on the subway stations, on the train. But it was written someplace different than the home because the home is where the limiting belief is.
Mhm.
Right?
Bonus.
So yeah, so today ask bigger, go, hey, listen, I'm curious, what do you guys got to offer me? Come on, Japan ether, bring it to me. Ask somebody to tell you in Japanese, I want bigger. I'm sure you
Okay.
could chat GPT it,
Mhm.
but I don't know how to say it.
Mhm. Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome. Yeah, you are in a blessed place for you to take unfair advantage of the situation. And when I say unfair, most people are busy looking at the structure, the 2%. You have the opportunity to step into the 98% of the unknown, the vibration, the ether of it. Because listen, I don't know about Canada, but Japan probably has buildings older. They have doorknobs older than the US.
Mhm.
Maybe not the rebuild, but the methodologies and when you get into where the bells are 17 feet tall and they ring it with a log the size of a small car. So love it, love it,
Yeah, it
love it.
was really fascinating. It was fascinating how I went to see the bamboo forest once, and then I felt the need to go again
Hmm. Hmm.
because I felt so calm and I wanted to go back. So waking up early in Japan is a must. That's what I learned. So I went at 4 o'clock in the forest by myself. Well, not too many people, but to me, that was fascinating. The need to go again.
So when you know how bamboo grows, right?
Hmm.
How many ideas have you let sit for 4 hours, for 5 years, 6 years? You've watered it every day. And maybe this is the trip that they burst through the ground and they grow a foot a day.
Oh my gosh, Anna, it was just now while you were saying this, it's like for the last 4 years, I've been posting on Facebook every single day. 4 years. Another bonus time. So thank you.
Yeah. See, you're a little piece of bamboo.
Hmm.
You're your own
Having
bamboo
fun.
forest of ideas. Here's the thing. What I love that what I get to do is I hear and I get to share thoughts and ideas of what's going on right now, because they're all connected. It's all connected. It's all connected. So I love that. I love it, 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 love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for taking some time from your trip to show up today and wish me a happy birthday. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
My pleasure.
Who else? Thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy birthday, you old man.
I know. Great, great.
Oh, I just wanted to say happy birthday and I love you.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
You know, I didn't have any of those what do they call it? Like at 50, I didn't go, oh my gosh, I'm 50. Blah, 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 blah. I didn't do that. I'm starting to think that maybe it might be 60. 60 might be the one. I think I'll be okay though. I think I'll probably be healthier at 60 than I was at 40. But yeah, 59's when I see people who are 59, most of them look old. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it has anything to do with their age. So,
No. Listen, I feel like I've aged like 5 years in the past 2 weeks. So I can definitely understand that one. It's not about the age.
it's not. And it's, how we think of ourselves. And I don't know, I was just someplace recently, and wasn't the A&MP, it was someplace else where somebody said, well, Sean could do it, or whatever it was, but it was something they would ask in my mind. They would ask somebody who's much younger to facilitate. I
Mm-hmm.
thought that was cool.
It is. It's your spirit.
It's because I hang around people like you.
That's not always necessarily a good thing, but keep you on your toes.
Yep.
No, I love it. I love the way you are.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because it gives me, it's not even permission. I was going to say it gives me permission to be more childlike, but it encourages me to see the world in a different perspective. And you do that very well.
Get some lambs and some chickens and it'll do it.
Well, I think I'm going to take it one day at a time right now.
Or live vicariously through the ranch here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We do need to talk and catch up.
Absolutely. You will be fascinated by some of the events that have perspired.
Wow. Okay. I look forward to it.
I love you.
I love you. Who was I talking to? Oh, it was Mason, and he was someplace. Oh no, I was waking him up yesterday. I found a new way to wake Mason up rather than get all mad and yelling and everything else. I just call him and what was the song I was singing? It'll come to me in a minute. But I started singing him a song and you could hear him go, Alexa, hang up. Oh, you are so
happy
special.
birthday, young guy.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So I've got a question.
Yes, sir.
And maybe some of our female friends can help me. I don't know. But I've been struggling with this for a while. And last week's conversation about deep work kind of pushed me over the edge.
Okay, good. Maybe, hopefully.
Uh, and it deals with, you know, as we all know, the male brain and the female brain work very different. Um, and it used to be when I was teaching and coaching, and I was gone for 12 to 14 hours a day, you know, there would be an occasional, you know, phone call of this, that, or the other thing. Now I'm, and if I'm thinking of this and working on that, it's like there, and then there, and then there, and then there, and it's there, and then it's, and I don't want to say be discouraging at all. If my help or thoughts or anything are needed, but it's very difficult for me to approach deep work when there's always some concern or something that is needed, or and I have not come up with the answer of that other than to take a breath, and I love that, and just go on. But
So every time
yeah,
that you want to go deep into something, 1,000 things show up.
yeah,
That's good.
right?
Because the 1,000 things were always there before. You just never noticed them because you weren't focusing on the thing that was driving you to your highest extent. So imagine your horses getting ready to go into a show, and it's not a regional, it's not a national, it's the show. How many things can you let distract you?
How many things can I
How many,
let distract
yeah, how
me?
many things would you want to be distracted by when you're at
Oh, I wouldn't want to be distracted by anything.
now, if you're at the regional, if you're at the local fair and you're better than every other horse that's going to go for a barrel race,
Yep.
could you let this, there be distractions that you could see, but because your skill is so good, it really doesn't matter. You're just going to outperform everybody because you've done it more than they have. So at the lower levels, at less where there's less on the line, so I'm speaking from my own. I'm very good at what I do. When I have conversations with CEOs and CMOs and all of these different people, it's really not a struggle. No longer is it a struggle because I'm so good at what I do that they think what I do is world class. And for the moment it is, until they start to get better. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So now you're operating at a world class where it's your first time. You have the skills, you have the capability, you have the capacity, you have the techniques, you have the talent, but it's your first time in this new discipline. And what happens is you wind up seeing all of the places where you can stumble. So what I would ask you is to do what the Roosevelt's poem about the man in the arena. Stay in the arena. Mentally imagine yourself back in the arena, because when you get distracted, you're in the stands. Yeah, it's not the critic who counts, where he points out where the strong man stumbled or where the doer of good deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man in the arena whose face is marred by sweat and blood and dust, who knows high achievement. So you've known this. So the key is that when you start to get distracted, you're not in the arena.
I don't think I explained myself well.
Okay.
I don't feel that it's me distracting me. It's often my bride saying, "Hey, can you help me with this? What about that?" You know,
hang on. It is
or
absolutely you distracting you,
okay, good.
because you're thinking that she's got to get better. What's the thing we said last night? When I asked for focus, God didn't give me focus. He gave me moments to be more focused.
Okay.
And so when she says, I need your help with that, you can go do that and come back. Or you can say, I will do it at this time. The challenge, where the challenge exists in us, and this happens with me and Michelle all the time. She will ask me, she has been trained both by herself and not wanting to get frustrated, asking me to do something and I don't do it. She has trained herself to say, when can this happen?
Mm.
And I ask on a scale of 1 to 10, when do you need it to happen? Because to me, it's not a priority at all, because otherwise I'd have done it on my own. So when Michelle says the garbage needs to go out, okay, so is it the garbage in the house or the garbage in the can that needs to go to the road? I know that's on Thursdays. So usually, if it's something that, again, multitasking, if I leave my desk to go take out the garbage, that's a half-hour trip. Not that it takes me a half hour, but I have to reset the brain to get back into where I was deep work. So now that we step into deep work, I've set new rules with Michelle. Listen, you can ask me for anything at any time. Remember, when you go into deep work and she's still up here in the shallow end swimming, she's going, where'd you go? Where'd you go? And by instinct, she knows how to bring you back. But if there's not an arrangement of understanding why the traversing back to that moment, it's okay. It's okay to serve your bride. You know that. The point is that since you've changed, you have to allow for a new level of communication and say, hey, listen, I love when you ask me for things. How can I serve you best? If I'm going into deep work, if I'm going to go sharpen the saw and right, if you were sharpening an axe, you don't want to be turning away because you could get cut. So all of that to say is, as you go through this process, yes, here's the thing. When you go deep, everybody wants you to not go deep. Everything wants you to not go deep. The chickens, when I start putting in here, and if I don't put my headphones on, I promise you, every chicken gets outside the door. I'm going to move the dog food, but I don't think that'll matter. They'll still come to the door and crow and bark, 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 bark.
Do your chickens ever come through your little doggy door?
No, they did poke the other day through it because the air conditioner's on and it's pulling in air. And so the dog flap was open. So Mama Chicken, we call her Mother Superior, she had stuck her head in. I wish they would come through the door. That would be the greatest day ever.
I have a feeling that's going to happen.
I think it'll happen one day too. So all of these distractions. So back to the thing is, become fully aware that because you're going deep, you're an easier target. Right? You're literally fish in a barrel. And they can shoot you easily. And part of it is your subconscious going, see, this deep work doesn't work. Every time you try to do this and we start this, right, we start to play the little violin. Every time I go deep, nobody will let me go deep. That's your response to their statement. Everything that happens in us is our response ability, our ability to respond. I didn't cause Fiona to throw up in the living room, but it's my responsibility. Right? When Michelle's on the phone call and she goes, right? And then there's the thing of whose task is more important. Well, I'm busy on the phone call and you're not really doing anything. Oh, okay. Yep. I'm not doing nothing. You know what I'm talking about. So
yeah, I do.
We say,
I do.
Absolutely.
I'll
be happy. I'll be happy to take care of that, because the faster that dilemma goes away, now they may pile on and on and on.
They might.
But faster that one goes away, yeah.
They might. That's a nice way of saying it.
So imagine if you were going to a doctor's appointment. You just don't leave the property. You just don't leave the ranch. Set a time and set your blocks. So from 8 to 8:30. I don't care if it's a half hour. Learn to go deep in that half hour.
Yeah, I got to communicate that better. Yeah, that's the answer. Because I haven't even attempted to.
Oh, shocking, really?
Yeah.
I am king of castle. You, the
Yeah.
decree should already be known.
Yeah.
And love her for it and say, listen, I don't know how much love you have for me for all of the scattered brainness that I cause you. So thank you
There you
for
go.
giving me space. And I tell Michelle that. She goes, well, you're an idiot sometimes. I go, well, I'm glad it's sometimes. You didn't
There you
say
go.
always. So, does that
Thank
help?
you. Yes, it does. Yes,
Okay.
it does. And I'll tell you what my day is going to be, brother.
Yeah, more mowing?
Oh no. There's some hay here in our hayloft
Okay, yep.
and a little bit over there.
Look how neat.
But do you see all this open space?
Yeah, you guys sweep it?
Well, yeah, I'm going to sweep it now because there'll be 1,000 bales of hay up here by the end of the day.
Oh, well, I'm sure it's nice and cool.
Oh, it's going to be mid-90s today.
What a nice barn though to stack it in. We had wasp nests and
Well, that's
all.
because before we get the hay in, my next task is to get this all cleaned out. I'm going to get the broom out and get all these cobwebs and nastiness out of here and clean up all this stuff on the ground and all that. Yeah,
Wow.
that's going to get done before the hay starts rolling in here.
It was a barn like that when I was 5 years old that somebody stacked a lot of wet hay in
Ooh,
and spontaneous combustion. And I went
yeah.
in and I didn't know I'd never been around horses. You know, those little memes where the little kid grabs the horse lead and the horse looks and going, you know, I could just stomp on this thing, right? And
Yep.
so I was 5 years old, got off the school bus from kindergarten and saw the smoke and ran up and opened up the barn door and then opened up the stalls and all the horses followed me out to the round pen. The barn
Yeah.
was on fire.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was doing. That was all God doing that. And when the owners, because we were living in the house on the ranch and my dad's business partner had all they were polo ponies.
Oh boy.
So, you know, they're a little high strung.
Pricey critters.
Yeah. So like, I think it was 10 horses. I remember Apache. Apache had a wart on his nose or a mole on his nose. I remember Apache. That's the only one I can really remember of all the names, but
you saved their butts.
yeah. And
Good for you.
I had no idea. I had no idea what I had done.
That's
But
awesome.
and there was no gates between the barn and the 20, 30 feet to the round pen.
Yep.
I just opened up that gate and they walked. They didn't run. Everybody said, you should be dead. If they came out, you should have been trampled.
Yeah.
They told me this years later. So
That's awesome. Well, happy birthday, young guy.
thank you, sir.
And it's just a number.
Yep. Oh yeah. No,
Just
it
a
is.
freaking number. And we're both going to be rolling for a long, long, long time.
What I love though is every time the number goes up, you can be less. You have to be less polite. You get to. Oh well, he's old. He gets to say that, right?
There you go.
I'm using
That's
some
a
of that
good
to my
excuse.
advantage.
That's a good. I'll use that excuse. I don't think I've used that. I'm just me. I haven't even used my age yet for my excuse.
Hey, listen, I'm 59. What do I care, right? That's what I say.
That's just me being me. You're
love
just
it.
getting started. Love you. All right.
All right.
Enjoy your day.
All right. Thanks, brother.
Bye.
I would love to be there helping him put the hay up. Stack it, cut side up. My arms would be sore, but it's the one muscle that I love. You see that little muscle go up and down right there? That's from the string. Thousands of bales every summer. The gripping. That's the strings. That's that muscle. So I got that going for me. Who else? Thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways?
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you, Diane.
One of the things that came to me was it's our strengths that we develop through our choice.
Hmm.
And I'm working on getting to that higher level. And it's that gives you success, is developing those skills and working on that consistently. And like you talked with Bob, you went through all that stuff. So, you know, thousands of times that you work in something, you will eventually succeed. So
This is truly why Waddle's statement, it's not about doing certain things, it's about doing them in a certain way. And the certain way to the biggest achievement of your life is the smallest adjustment. So it's aggravating and it's frustrating. I did this and I did it differently. Didn't do it the certain way. Just doing something different doesn't change things. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Diane. Who else? Any last words, thoughts, comments, takeaways? All righty, my little
I have a
Eve.
question.
Yes, go ahead.
So
Is that
know how
birthday
we always-
cakes in the chat? How
yeah.
about-
Every time you say happy birthday, they show up. Pretty cool.
Go ahead, Dan.
You know how we always talk about drawing the line behind us?
Mm-hmm.
There's a sense of new confidence that happens with that
Mm-hmm.
when you truly draw the line.
Right.
Look how beautiful
I
she is.
know. She's gorgeous. Got her school gear on.
Aw. So distracted. Anyways, I'm just trying to, I guess, decipher why that happens.
Because when you start something new, it's a lot different than when you say, don't try to change what I had.
Hmm.
So when you start something new, you've changed everything, and everything that shows up in your world is all in the new. Even if they cross the line with you, it's all new. The challenge
Right.
is that the new level of confidence is most people don't want to cross the line because it's still aligned to them.
I see.
So the new energy that comes up in you is because you're starting. They don't ever want to finish what they're doing. Same line, they're standing right there. You were on that line just a second ago. You were on the other side of that line. But because you drew it and you said you didn't tell them not to cross it, because you're leaving it. Most times when we cross the line, when we say, I drew a line in the sand, we will never cross that. And we're asking everything out there to not cross it. So there's the whole new level of confidence is that even if it was the line you drew and you stepped over it, what happens in the brain that you actually stepped over the line that you said do not cross?
It's that enough is enough.
Mm-hmm. And the challenge is it's enough. Don't stop screwing up my past. Stop screwing up my memories. Because that's why you draw the line in front of you. When you draw the line behind you, you say, I'm not taking any of those with me. There'll be experiences that I'll use to avoid in the future the things that I don't want and do more of the things that I do want. They ain't crossing it. Because if they do, they have to be in this new energy. And most people aren't willing to adjust, aren't willing to finish the BS, the belief systems that they currently have, so they can step into new.
Oh, I like that.
Because it's so unknown. It's so unknown. Yet it's the thickness of the line, aka as close as your skin. One of the greatest lessons I had, you've all heard this 100 times, is when I started doing presentations in Puerto Rico and I didn't speak Spanish. And I would say two things in the Agata Villarroel, she would talk for 5 minutes. I'm like, what the hell are you saying? She was giving the presentation, which made me have to understand and learn the language, which is why I can probably in 14 or 15 languages, if I'm in country long enough, going, no, 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 that's not what I said. Like, how do you know? You don't speak Serbian? No, I don't, but I know what you said
Is
and
not
how
what I was trying to articulate.
not what I based upon how they're responding, the audience. So this whole idea of everything we're about to go do, everything you're doing now, you're doing your best to translate to me a question that has 5 books worth of data
Yeah.
behind it, right?
Yep.
You're trying to give me the Cliff Note version in hopes that I can explain something about chapter 3 of a book you've already written.
Mm-hmm.
So when we step across that line, that literally tears our soul apart versus saying, I don't have to cross any line. I've already started there.
Ooh, I like that.
Right? If I just, and listen, your arm could be tired. You could look like a Chinese war movie. Hiya, 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 right? And you're what are you doing? I'm just drawing lines behind me so I don't slip back.
That was my next question. How do you get to the point where you don't
You draw
fall back in, but the line is deep?
You keep drawing new lines. Here's the thing. You get far enough away, you can't, when you're far enough away from the Grand Canyon, all you see is this side and that side. You don't see the canyon. You're so far away over there. You're 10 miles away, the curvature of the earth. You know the canyon's up there, but you can't see the canyon. All you see is this side and that side. And it looks like they're almost touching. Till you raise your vantage point, you can start to see that there's a gap between them.
Mm.
So as you move away, you draw the line behind you and there's a cavern. So you're standing here, you draw the line and it's a cavern. But you move 10 feet away, you can't see the bottom of it. But too many people want to tell me how deep the cavern is. Oh my God, you have no idea what I crossed. That ain't an old story if you used it today.
Mm-hmm.
So then as you move farther away, sometimes our identity is stuck in there. It's on a rope and it's hanging down at the bottom and we're trying to pull our identity. We're trying to pull our cavern identity with me. Nobody cares. Nobody up here cares. They go, why do you have a string tied to you? Well, that's my identity. I'm trying to drag it with me. I only know you as now. Oh, and I don't even want to be around you because I don't even like that. Why would you bring that with you?
Got to cut the umbilical cord.
Got to go to daycare for the first day.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we're grown but adults and we're still going to daycare on the first day for ourselves.
Yeah.
I don't want to go. It's adult daycare.
I love that. Thank you.
You're welcome. What'd you learn? What'd you like?
It's about the decision. It's not about what you're leaving behind. It's about what you're going to go forward with.
And some of the things will become petrified in our past.
Mm-hmm.
And some things will fade to dust in our past. And some things will get buried and need to be rediscovered at some point, like fossils. The key is you need a lot of time and money to go on an archaeological dig.
Yeah,
And
I'm good on that.
and it and it takes precision and it takes time, right? I was watching the Terracotta Warriors, a documentary on the Terracotta Warriors. When you look at them and you see the statues built, the soldiers built, not one of them stood tall. Every one of those was broken and shattered. Every one of those was broken and shattered. It takes on average 3 years to put a warrior together. Matching the pieces and the thises and that, because every one of them has a different expression. So it's not like, well, that's a cheekbone. No, that's a cheekbone to who? Or cheek plate or whatever, right? And that's buttons for this guy's armor, and every one of those has to be reassembled. And they're still discovering stuff. They're discovering that's 60 square kilometers, the tomb site. And you want to know the funny thing? He was only in charge for 18 years. That whole dynasty lasted 18 years. 18 years. And a new dynasty took a dynasty. We think dynasties are thousands of years. 18 years it lasted. And he built all of this in 18 years. So talk about enslaving the masses to build your dream. 18 years, the 1,000 Terracotta Warriors were built. 18 years, they built thousands. Do you know how many thousands of people had to? It's mind-boggling. So I say that to say, yeah, keep moving forward. Let's go. So this is a great line I heard, and I think it was the networking group. His name will come to me in a second. He does retreats in Dubai, 6 and 7 figure income earner Facebook group. Anyways, he said, die with memories, not dreams. I love that line. Go do the stuff. Love it, love it, love it. Who else? Any last thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways? Take with yous. All right, my little eagles, thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. You make me younger every day. And I'm grateful for that. You are some of the most valuable gifts I've ever been given in my life, and I'm grateful for that. I'm your head birthday moving misfit. I'll see you all where?
At the next event.
I love it, love it, love it. Somebody give me some Costa Ricas.
Pura vida.
We love you, Mark, and some Lydias.
Peace be with
Peace
us.
be with us.
And to the birthday queen, my dear friend, and yours as well, Jessie Lee Ward.
Boss.
Boss Lee.
Boss Lee, we love you, girl. All right, everybody, go have
Happy
some fun.
birthday, Sean.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you. I will see you all tonight. Law of Success, 8 p.m. Same bat channel. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.
Have an amazing day.
Bye.